Pancreatitis in dogs is more common than you think, and it can get serious fast. But the symptoms? Not always obvious. Hi, I'm Lyndall from Vetster, and today we're going over what you need to know about pancreatitis, including symptoms, treatment, and how to protect your dog. As usual, all of the information in this video has been meticulously reviewed by leading Vetster veterinarians. Alright, let's hear from the experts.
Pancreatitis is pretty common in dogs, but it's not always easy to catch. The symptoms can look like a lot of other illnesses, and chronic pancreatitis is even trickier since the signs can be mild and come and go on their own. But it's serious, sometimes even life-threatening, so knowing what to watch for is important. The pancreas plays a big role in digestion by releasing enzymes that break down food. But when it gets inflamed, those same enzymes start attacking the pancreas itself, which can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain. Acute pancreatitis happens suddenly and can be really severe, so it needs immediate vet care. Chronic pancreatitis, on the other hand, can last for months or even years. If your dog has a sensitive stomach that flares up now and then, it's worth getting them checked out to make sure something more serious isn't going on. A lot of people hear pancreatitis and think it just means inflammation of the pancreas, but there's more to it than that. The pancreas has two big jobs. It helps digest food by releasing enzymes and regulates blood sugar by producing insulin. Normally, it's protected from its own digestive enzymes, but when it gets inflamed, those enzymes leak out and start causing damage. This doesn't just affect the pancreas, it can also harm nearby organs. In severe cases, pancreatitis can lead to long-term problems like diabetes or ongoing pancreas issues. So how can you tell if your dog has pancreatitis? The symptoms aren't always obvious, but there are some key signs to look out for. Pancreatitis can be tricky to spot because it looks like a lot of other, less serious issues. But if your dog has it, you might notice things like repeated vomiting, diarrhea, sometimes with blood, stomach pain, weakness, drooling more than usual, a loss of appetite, dehydration, or even a fever. Since these symptoms can mean a lot of different things, it's always a good idea to check with a vet if your dog isn't acting like themselves, especially if the symptoms don't go away quickly. Not every dog with pancreatitis shows all the symptoms, and sometimes the signs are subtle. But if your dog has vomiting, diarrhea, or anything else that seems off, it's worth getting a vet's opinion. It's especially important if they have multiple symptoms at once, or if vomiting and diarrhea last longer than a day. Even if your dog seems fine otherwise, it's always better to be safe. And if you're not sure whether it's an emergency, you can connect with a vet on Vetster from home. A lot of the time, there's no clear reason why a dog develops pancreatitis, but there are some known risk factors. One of the biggest triggers is eating high-fat foods. This is why vets see a huge spike in pancreatitis cases right after big holidays. Dogs get into turkey, gravy, or other rich foods, and the next day, they're sick. Vets even call the day after Thanksgiving Pancreatitis Friday because it happens so often. Dogs that regularly get into the trash, eat table scraps, or have a history of snacking on things they shouldn't are at higher risk. Health conditions like diabetes or hypothyroidism can also increase the chances of pancreatitis. Certain breeds, like miniature schnauzers, small toy breeds, and terriers, seem to be more prone to it. And obesity is another big risk factor. If any of these apply to your dog, it's even more important to be mindful of their diet and watch for symptoms. Diagnosing pancreatitis isn't always straightforward, especially when it's chronic. Vets usually start with a physical exam and ask about your dog's history, like any new foods, treats, or whether they might have eaten something unusual. Blood tests can help, but they don't always give a clear answer, so vets might also run general tests to rule out other conditions with similar symptoms. In some cases, they'll use X-rays or an ultrasound to check for swelling around the pancreas and get a better idea of what's going on. If a vet suspects pancreatitis, treatment is necessary, whether it's confirmed or not. There's no single cure, so the focus is on managing symptoms and reducing inflammation. Treatment usually involves IV fluids, medication to control vomiting and diarrhea, antibiotics to prevent infection, and pain relief. In severe cases, hospitalization is often the best option since dogs with pancreatitis are usually dehydrated and need injectable meds, especially if they're too sick to keep anything down. In most cases, pancreatitis isn't something you can treat at home. Managing pain, vomiting, and diarrhea at home is tough, and human pain meds won't work. Some, like ibuprofen, are even toxic to dogs. Waiting too long to get vet care can lead to permanent damage or even increase the risk of chronic pancreatitis or diabetes. However, for dogs with chronic pancreatitis, a special diet at home can help manage the condition. If you're ever unsure, a virtual vet appointment on Vetster can help you figure out the next steps. Not all cases of pancreatitis can be prevented, but you can lower the risk. Avoid giving your dog fatty table scraps, treats, or human food, and keep trash and food waste out of reach. Keeping them at a healthy weight helps, and regular vet checkups can catch other health issues that might contribute to pancreatitis. If your dog has had pancreatitis before or has a chronic case, a low-fat diet might help, but always check with a vet before making any changes to their food. If you have questions about your dog's diet or risk factors, talking to a vet on Vetster can give you peace of mind. Now you know the warning signs and what to do. But if you ever have doubts, don't wait. Connect with a vet on Vetster for fast, expert advice without leaving your home. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more vet-approved pet tips.